This video is for the National 5 Graphic Communication assignment for 2022, the Smart Speaker. In this video, we are going to look at creating the Smart Speaker top. Looking at data sheet 1C, we can see that the speaker top is round in shape, it's cylindrical, and we can see this because we have centre lines going through the plan, the elevation and the end elevation. Because the bottom of the circle is a different size to the top of the circle, it means that we are unable to use extrude, therefore we are going to use revolve. In Autodesk Inventor, I'm going to click New, I'm going to change it to metric, and then I'm going to click standard millimeters. Once I have opened a new part, I'm going to go up to Start a 2D sketch, and I'm going to click the XY plane. Now, in order to do a revolve, we're going to have to draw half of the shape that we can see. We're going to kind of ignore the cutout at the moment and draw the speaker top as if it was a full solid shape. So, looking at the end elevation, we can see that the height from the top to the very bottom is 100 millimeters. We can also see from the plan that the largest point of the base is a diameter of 95, and that the half of the size of the top will be 35. So we're going to use these three sizes to create the speaker top. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my overall height. So I'm going to click the line tool and I'm going to click the green dot in the middle of my axis, and I want to go up 90 degrees and I want it to be 100. So I'm going to type in 100 millimeters and then press enter. I then want to do the top line, which we know is 35, so I'm going to type in 35 and make sure that that comes out to the left at 90 degrees. And then I'm going to draw the bottom line, so I'm going to press escape on my keyboard, click line again, click the bottom of my 100 line, and then this time I'm going to come out 47.5 centimetres, so 47.5. And we've got 47.5 because we know that the overall size is 95, so we're just halving that because it's going to be a revolve and we need to take half of the shape. So we've got 47.5. Next, I'm going to use the line tool to go from the left hand side of my 35 line to the left hand side of my 47.5 line. And I end up with this shape here. Now that I've got half of the shape drawn, I can click Finish Sketch. And I'm going to use the Revolve tool, and I'm going to select my 100 line as my centre axis. And we want it to fully revolve. And now we have this shape here. Now we can see from the drawing that there is a cutout on the top of the speaker top, so it's got an angle here. And looking at the drawing, it tells us that from the bottom of the speaker top to this point here will be 70, and then it goes up to the top corner. So we're going to draw a line up at 70, and then we're going to join that to the top corner. So first thing we need to do is we need to find a centre axis. So I'm going to go to my modelling tree and I'm going to open the origins folder, and I'm going to look at the planes and see if I can find one that cuts through half of my shape. So I can see here that the YX plane is cutting through half of my shape in the middle. So once I've done that, I'm going to right click it and I'm going to turn on the visibility. Next, I'm going to click Start a 2D Sketch, and I'm going to select the YZ plane that I have just turned on. And then I can press F7 on my keyboard, and that will cut my shape in half, and that will make it easier for us to draw the line at 70. So using the line tool, I'm going to select line, and I'm going to draw my line up the side of my shape at 70. And we just want to make sure that from the bottom to the top is a line at 70. So making sure here to here is 70. You can see mine's is showing at 69 and nearly a half. So I'm going to just use the dimension tool to select these 2 points again and just make sure that I change it to 70. So it's like so. So the 70 should be from the bottom to the top of the line, not at the angle. I'm then going to use my line tool to take the top of my 70 line to my top corner. I'm going to run that along the top, and then I'm going to join it again with the top of that 70. So that what I have created is a triangle up in the top corner. Once I've done that, I'm going to click Finish Sketch. And then I'm going to click Extrude. And it's automatically selected this triangle. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I've changed it to symmetric, so it goes both directions. And that I change the distance to so that it cuts through the full shape. So in this case, I've changed it to 95. And I need to make sure that it's an extrude subtract, so I'm going to select the cut function and press OK. And then I have the top corner removed from the speaker top. Next, we can look at shelling the object, so hollowing out the object. We know that it has been shelled because we have a couple of clues. First one is that we have hidden detail in the end elevation and elevation, which shows that it's been hollowed out, but also that we have the wall thickness as 5 millimeters. So if it tells us that there's a wall thickness, we know that it has been shelled. So I'm going to go back to my object, and you can right click your plane and turn off the visibility if that's going to make things easier. And I'm going to view it from the bottom. I'm going to click shell, and I'm going to change the thickness to 5 millimeters. And then I'm going to click the bottom of the speaker top so that it shells and removes that surface. So it now should look something like this. The last stage that we need to do is to add the 2 little pins that are on the bottom of the speaker top, and this is what connects it to the speaker base. So these 2 little pins that are sitting here. Looking at the elevation, it shows us that the pin has a diameter of 2.5, and looking at the end elevation, we know that the 2.5s are 45 away from the middle of our shape. Now it's important that we get the pins on the correct side of the speaker top, so we can see that looking at it from the elevation and looking at it from the front of the slope, there is 1 pin here, and then at the back of the slope there is the other pin. So I'm going to turn my shape so that I can see the slope just like it would be in the elevation, and then I'm just going to flip it so that I'm looking at it from the bottom, and I know that 1 pin is going to be at the top and 1 pin is going to be at the bottom. So I'm going to click Start a 2D Sketch, and I want to select the outer ring of the base. So next I am going to use the circle tool, and I'm going to not click anywhere in particular. I don't want it to join to any line, so I'm just going to go somewhere in the middle of the outer circle and the circle from the shell. And I'm just going to draw a circle at 2.5, like so. And then I'm going to use the dimension tool to click from the centre of my circle to the centre of my smaller 2.5 circle and make sure it's 45. Now, for any reason, if you don't have this centre point already shown, mine is in the centre of the axis, so mine is shown, but if you don't, you can always click Project Geometry and select the outer circle, and that will give you a centre point. So I'm going to go centre point to the centre point of my 2.5, and I'm going to make sure that is 45. And then I'm going to do the same on the bottom. So I'm still in the same sketch, but this time I'm going to draw a circle here at 2.5. I'm going to use the dimension tool and go centre to centre, and again make sure that is 45. So I should have a small circle at the top and a small circle at the bottom. Once done, I'm going to finish the sketch, and I'm going to check the drawing, and I can see from the end elevation that the little pins stick out 4 millimeters. So I'm going to click Extrude and select one circle and then the other circle, and then change my distance to 4 millimeters and press OK. And that is the speaker top finished. So once done, I can then go up to File, Save As, and save it to somewhere safe.